It's the Two Girls and a Bottle of Wine podcast, and I'm Janet Blair. Each week, I sit down with one of my girlfriends, whether it be
Teresa, Natalie,
Carrie,
Kristen,
Tara,
Stephanie.
We talk about whatever.
We completely restore this trailer.
Fry people's faces off as a bad Mexican.
I don't understand the competition that goes on between women.
Two girls and a bottle of wine. Over a glass of wine, bottle of wine, or sometimes a couple bottles of wine. Join in on Facebook at facebook.com/2girlsandabottle-of-wine. Don't miss us.
Do the boobs.
Oh, yes, you can say the boobs.
Okay. Now I'm like, oh my God, I hope I remember when to say the boobs.
It'll all come natural.
Okay, all right.
Hello, I'm Janet.
And I'm Stephanie.
And we are Two Girls and a Bottle of Wine.
Because men like boobs.
And girls like wine. Stephanie McHugh is back via Skype.
Yay. Yes. At my day job, I said, hey, I have a podcast to do. I have to hurry home. And she's like, oh, you can just kind of fluff your hair and, you'll be ready to go. Meaning
they don't know what
hair
a podcast
wasn't looking very good. And I was like, oh, nope, not one of those. I'm set. I can be in my underwear, yoga pants.
People are getting visuals.
With my flat hair.
After a long, hard day, I come home. I got mascara down to my chin.
I know.
Yeah. It's amazing what happens in a cubicle.
What? Yeah. What kind of gremlin is in there messing up the makeup? But it is.
I think it's stress. We're like.
Right. Exactly. Yes.
So what have you been up to?
Oh, Janet, I put my big girl panties on and said goodbye to my oldest daughter. She went back to Oregon State University today.
She's a beaver again.
She is a beaver still. Yes. And it wasn't nearly as hard this time because her roommate from last year flew out and then they're driving back together. So they just crossed into Idaho.
Oh, so you're nervous. You're the nervous mom right now, waiting for her to say, I made it safely.
Yeah, now I feel bad. I'm like, no, I think I'm okay, Janet. No news is good news.
No news is good news. That is right. I like it. I like it.
Her dad got the car fixed, and I bought AAA years ago because I am masterful at waiting till the last minute. And I know a lot of people's head is exploding listening to the podcast. And then I sometimes will not make it and will run out of gas. So rather than ruin friendships and relationships, I just have AAA. I call AAA. And it never fails because there's always once or twice every year that I lock my keys in my car. And I usually have a spare in my purse, but sometimes I don't. Or I run out of gas or the battery goes dead. So I gave her a membership too.
That's a good present.
Yeah, to myself, Janet.
Yes.
Who's she going to call?
Right. When I was in college, my grandma got me AAA, and there was one year I locked my keys in my car 5 times. I maxed out. And the last time the car was running. That's never good.
Never good. It isn't. It isn't. One time I had a show at the Improv and then I needed gas. I did not have enough gas to go home and it was like 1 or 2 in the morning. I stayed a little late and was just talking to the staff or something. And so I'm putting gas in the car and then I'm going to walk in to get something. And as I'm shutting the door, I realize that the keys are in the car and I've locked the keys and my purse in the car while I'm getting gas. But I realized I had the window rolled down just a little bit on the other side because this car I named Ugly Betty. She didn't have any air conditioning and was totaled twice. She had hail damage, so she was totaled once. And then someone hit my driver's side door, so then she got totaled again. But she still drove. She had like 300,000 miles. So I thought, I can get my hand in there and unlock the door. And I almost got my arm stuck.
Oh,
and
my
I
gosh.
thought, what is worse than locking your keys in your car? I thought, 2:00 in the morning with your arms stuck in your car at a truck stop.
And you just wait for someone to pull up, hoping they're not a creeper, so that they can go in and call for help.
That's right. Like, hey, how are you? Yeah, I know. I did not do that, though, Janet. I did not do that.
Good.
Very close. Yeah.
So last year you drove up with her to Oregon, right?
We flew.
That's
so
right.
Her dad and our other daughter and myself, we all got big, huge carry-ons. We flew Southwest and just packed her stuff with all of her stuff.
Wow.
And then dropped her off. Yeah. So that was tough because she didn't know anybody. But she wanted to do it. So it's just sort of one of those, takes a little while.
Yeah. And your other daughter is a senior?
She is a senior.
I was going to
yes.
say that or a model because I keep seeing these senior-looking photos. I'm like,
oh,
wow.
Right. Yeah.
They're
Yep,
popping up
she
in
just
my
got her
timeline.
Senior pictures taken.
Well, tell her they
Yep.
look great.
I will. Thank you. Thank you. And she works at Starbucks. So, Janet, if I go say hi to her, I get free Starbucks sometimes.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes. It's a really good company to work for. So she's doing pretty good. And I'm not the one working. And
Right.
She's the one doing all the hard work. But I'm like, hey.
Does she love it?
She does. She really loved it during the summer. Life, which is usual, just at the beginning of the year, it's busy with soccer
Oh, yes.
and Starbucks and senior year.
That's a lot of S's.
It's a lot of S's, Janet.
Soccer, Starbucks, and senior year.
It's a lot of senior shit. She's not going to listen to this. So
She won't, because mom is not
Yeah.
cool, right?
No, with the older one, I'm okay. I'm a little okay because she really likes stand-up comedy, and Julie does too. But still, she's like, "No, Mom, no, just no."
So has she discovered the party scene in college?
She is not much of a partier. She
That's good.
is kind of a little granola girl, a little bit. Like she likes to go hiking and camping and stuff like that. Yeah.
So she's not
Yeah.
like sneaking the peach schnapps, amaretto sours.
Oh
Those
my
were my
gosh.
like sophomore year in
Janet.
college beverages.
I wish we were. I know everybody has to go through that. I mean, that's why
Ooh.
I drink scotch and soda now. Because
Yeah.
there was one peppermint schnapps time that was just right after I made, spinach lasagna. So
Oh,
sorry again
no,
for that.
you're fine.
But I can't eat spinach. I can eat spinach lasagna, but the peppermint schnapps will never happen again.
Yeah, I remember when I discovered Jägermeister. I love black licorice. So I was like, this stuff's amazing. And I almost killed myself.
Oh, yes. Now, can you drink it now?
No.
Yeah.
No. Mm-mm.
That's probably a blessing in disguise. Really.
Yeah. Well, at my age, shots are just never a good idea. They knock me on my tail.
Yeah, I don't really drink a lot. Occasionally I'll have a scotch and soda or a Jameson.
There you go.
Those are good. Yeah. Uh-huh.
So have you been busy in the comedy world?
You know what? I took my oldest daughter and her roommate. Her roommate flew out here, so we went to Comedy Works, and I didn't sign up. I didn't get a chance to sign up. My bad. But I just went backstage to say hi to everybody. Bob Marley was the headliner, and Sam Adams was the MC. Nathan Lund, a lot of great local comics. And Rick Kearns was on and goes, "You should do 10 minutes of my time so your daughter and her roommate can see you do stand-up." And he goes, "Don't tell them. Just
Pop
come
up.
back here
Yeah.
and then show up." So I'm like, oh my gosh. All right. Thank you so much. I'm going to do that. So right before, when the other comic was on, I just slipped away and then I popped up on stage and did 10 minutes. So that was really nice.
Did they love it?
Yeah, they did. It was good. Yeah, it was really sweet. It was fun.
Sweet.
I don't know if sweet is sweet or Rick Kearns. And you know what? It was the first time. I've sort of been kind of raunchy on stage, but I have just a few jokes that I think this is going to be an uncomfortable moment
With my daughter
in my
in the
daughter's
audience.
life when they realize that I've said these jokes. And I just mentioned it to her this time. I don't think she realized it, but I said, they were, because Becca, her roommate, was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I said that. I was in the back seat and they were in the front. And I'm like, I don't even know what you said. Because I said I was pissed off. I'm like, oh, okay, you're fine. You're really.
Is that when you said, did you know I'm a stand-up comedian? And not at church camp?
That's right. And Rachel said, oh, she cusses. And I said, I go, there's a few jokes that are just going to be a little uncomfortable. You're going to throw up a little bit in your mouth, sweetie, when you know. But then we're just going to get past it. We're going to get past it. It's going to be okay.
That's awesome. Steve and I are heading to Eagle next weekend.
Oh, for the back bowl?
The back bowl.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is always good. Did I do that with him last time? Did we do that? Can't remember if I've done that with him.
You did something. Was it Grand Junction? You did Grand Junction.
Oh, Glenwood Springs.
That's okay.
Yeah.
They're in the same direction, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the back bowl is always fun. That's been around forever.
Yeah. And
So
the
it's nice.
Taco Bell in Eagle is horrible, though. We have
Random, but good information, Janet.
I'm connecting the dots. So after Steve does his comedy thing, we typically go to Taco Bell. And we mapped it and found it and got there. And oh my gosh, that was the worst Taco Bell ever.
Oh,
Why can't I
so
lose weight,
disappointing.
Stephanie? Horrible.
You look great. And I think
Thanks.
that's a nice little ritual to have.
Yeah.
At a Taco Bell after a show?
I've gotten
Yeah.
better. I used to pig out and get 4 things. 'Cause I don't know why. So I've cut it in half. I only get 2 things now. It's more in moderation.
Uh-huh. Like a Mexican pizza. That's one of my favorites.
Oh, no. I like the beefy 5-layer burrito.
Okay.
And then they have a potato griller, which is like a baked potato in a tortilla. A loaded baked potato.
Yeah.
It's great.
Very good. Very nice.
You're
Janet.
so how's your salads?
I'm like a bipolar eater still. I will down a big, huge salad bowl, like mixing bowl full of spinach, and then I will eat half a batch of cookie dough. So this is what I've learned. I cannot, I volunteer at my day job. We're called Angel Bakers, and we
Aw.
bake cookies for someone in the armed forces.
That's really sweet.
Yeah, who doesn't have sort of a support system, and we write, letters to him and things, which I really enjoy, except when I'm stressed, I eat a lot of the cookies, and then there's not enough, so then I have to make more,
And then you
I'm
eat
stressed, and then I eat more. So I finally came to the conclusion that maybe I need to find another way to support our troops or give back to the community than make cookies. Part of me thought, this is perfect. I love to make cookies, and I'm giving back to the community, because what is nicer than getting cookies?
I love it. Actually, my coworker in Florida was rocking and rolling one week, getting his booty handed to him, but doing an amazing job. And so I ordered him Mrs. Fields cookies and had them sent to him because, that's what I do for people. I like baking cookies too, and it's easy. And you take it and makes them happy, right? And I couldn't do that. So I just did that for another coworker this weekend. I baked some cookies, and I have to admit I did eat some of the cookie dough and took him to work because he had been helping me tremendously at work. So I think baking cookies is fun, especially getting ready to hit the fall months.
Yes.
I love that smell.
Yeah, I know. It is nice, huh? But this is when I really started, like, I gained a lot of weight. I gained the freshman 15 when my daughter went away because I would make her cookies.
No way.
And then I would eat half of them. So I'm going to have to find another way